Actually, Mikey, in the beginning of the day, the festival was bustling with families. But once the clouds grew darker, the streets grew more vacant.
The weather may be a little crazy today, but I'm sitting with Christina, Jessica, and Mary, and they are proving that this rain isn't going to ruin their day. Despite tornado warnings in the distance, the annual Wamego Tulip Festival started out with an ideal sunny day last weekend. Even as strong winds picked up, families stayed to enjoy the food and festivities, at least for a while.
With the weather situation, safety's one primary concern, so we decided to just close up shop. There was quite a few people out here earlier today. We also hosted a benefit run earlier, and we had a great turnout for that, so I think the morning did great.
The weather didn't drive everyone away. As the rain poured down harder, a few loyal fans continued to show their support for the festival band from the stands.
These are our friends, so we had to support them, I guess, and enjoy. I mean, I don't mind the rain, so might as well. I can run home if it gets bad.
There may be a few brave souls who are able to stand this weather at this year's Tulip Festival, but for the most part, everyone's packing up, praying for better weather, and coming back tomorrow.
The weather did change a few things, but for the most part, the festival looked like a success, and everyone I spoke to was looking forward to coming back the next day.
This Week in Sports reporter Shelby Danielson gives us an update on the baseball team's recent games and a look into the upcoming spring football game. Shelby?
Thanks, Mikey. The baseball team faced a very tough opponent recently in the Baylor Bears. After early leads, the Wildcats went down 3 times to their conference rivals this past weekend. The last game was a close call, though, with a final score of 12-11. And this Friday, head coach Brad Hill will coach his 500th game with Kansas State at Missouri. With the spring game less than 2 weeks away, the football team is under surveillance for what should be expected this upcoming season. In particular, with the senior starter Colin Klein may be a given, but who are these 3 other candidates? Justin Tuggle, one of the backups from last year, is not on this list as he has moved to linebacker for his senior year. Tavarius Bender, a dual-threat quarterback from Lincoln, Nebraska, surprised most fans with his choice to forego his Cornhusker hometown. But the Wildcats' promise of letting him play turned out to sway him to purple. He seems to be a top choice for the backup QB. In other news, as you all saw a couple weeks ago, Channel 8 reporter Don Boulderjack covered the K-State fishing team. And Ryan Patterson is joined with us today, and you qualified by winning the National Fishing College Championship, for which you got $100,000 for. So how important is it to K-State to win the first National Fishing Championship?
You know, this is our first national championship in our school history, and so definitely it's really exciting, the type of exposure we've gotten through, you know, various media outlets throughout the country. I mean, my phone's rang off the hook the last 2 or 3 days, and it's great to see a Power Cat on all sorts of websites and see all the exposure we're getting.
That's awesome. And your shirts, you look like the side of a NASCAR with all your sponsors.
Well, when they called me to do this, I asked if I could wear my jersey just because we're representing K-State. You know, we're really lucky at Kansas State to have a lot of really great sponsors that give us a lot of great support, and without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. But I definitely want to point out Chapman Creek and Chapman, Kansas, just down I-70 here from Manhattan. They've been with us since day one. They were the first people to, you know, give us a chance when nobody else would. So I definitely want to thank them, along with our other sponsors, G. Loomis, Shimano, Trocar, and Snack Day Lures.
You've got a lot of supporters out there.
Yeah, definitely a lot of supporters.
So there were 25 other teams that were 2-man teams, and you decided to go alone.
Well, actually, it wasn't quite going alone. What happened was last fall, my brother transferred schools. He was originally my partner, and when he transferred schools, he wasn't able to compete with me under the K-State jersey. So what happened was it was kind of like a Cinderella type win, with everybody else having 2 teams, and I was fishing by myself. But I would say probably the one good thing about this is now that we did win the national championship, the exposure is probably 2 or 3 times greater than it would have been if it had just been a 2-man team. So I definitely feel really fortunate to got the bites that I got and get those fish in the boat and make it happen for K-State.
Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
And spend your money wisely.